What's up, YouTube? This is Hydro Racer 164. In another one of my videos, I mentioned some of my motors that I have do not have a high speed or low speed needle, and I have a third channel needle. So I'm going to show you guys what that means. And after 15 years, I have been racing boats for the last 7 years. Most of my cars that I used to have always had a low and a high speed. Nowadays, some of the racers use a third channel or a fourth channel for like auxiliary, for like temp and maybe some stability control. But most of us boat racers don't have a high or low speed needle. Like my 12 hydro that looks like this 45 here, that one actually has a high and a low speed needle, but I usually cut the high speed needle off and I put a third channel in it. So I'm going to show you the function of it. If you look right here, this is actually my third channel needle. So my fuel runs in to the top, and then my fuel runs out to the bottom and into the carb there. So I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to show you what it does and explain how it works. So first thing is, I'm going to turn on my remote, make sure it's on the right setting. It says Hydro 45. This is a 2.4 Hi-Tech Pro Aggressor. If you don't know, this is actually your dual rate, and most new cars have a dual rate. As you can see, it goes up and down. This is actually for my rudder, and I always leave it as low because these hydros pivot on that right there, so they don't really need that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this, and I'll show you how this works. So I was talking about my dual rate, so that's about as much as it turns. Now that dual rate, I can adjust that, and it will take it all the way over both sides, and I usually keep it down on 60%, and that's about all I need. I don't need very much because it doesn't take much to turn this big fast boat, but as you can see right there, this is my third channel. Now my third channel is right here on the side. If I want to push it down, that'll lean it out. So when you push it down, that third channel moves. What that does is it'll lean out the motor to the carb, just like if you were to lean it out on a screwdriver with a high speed needle. And then I can go back. That's my starting point. And now I'm going to go all the way back forward. Now that's friction up the boat. And then it stops. I have a dual rate on that where it stops. And here and that stops at 100%. Now I'll go back down. And it goes back to 0. And as you notice, my needle is back there. Now this is actually the main needle. This is just like the high speed needle on a regular carb. I can turn it, counterclockwise to richen it, or I can turn it clockwise to lean it out. But that's what a third channel needle does, and most of us, if not all, use it on this kind of boat, a mono boat. I even have a couple on my tunnel boat that are mod boats. But I do have some outboards that are K&B outboards, which are very old motors. But these motors are strong and they've been running. And those actually have just one needle. Those are actually a main needle. I don't need a low speed because, or I don't need as you notice, this one doesn't even have a needle for an idle screw. Now this does have a needle on it for high speed, but that's cut off. Most of these don't even have them. So that's about the gist of it. And then, of course, all my stuff is back here. Tape this up. And this usually is waterproof. The inside's got carbon fiber and resin in it to seal it up. And like I said, this is the turn fin. This is the rudder. Back here, like I said, this doesn't turn very much. Now, if I wanted to, I can adjust that dual rate, and if you watch, it'll go.